Hey guys, this is Yoda. Blizzard recently announced some dungeon tuning, so let's go over it. This is going to be for the Shadowlands dungeons and Ecodome. Well, there's no changes to Ecodome coming up for the coming week. According to them, the test period starts Wednesday, July 22. By the way, today is July 22 and it is Tuesday, so we're not really sure what day that will start on. At 2 p.m. PST, so that's 5 Eastern. That is, man, someone needs to get a fucking calendar over there. Anyway, so these are the changes that they did. All right, Tazavesh, enemy force increased by 10%. So Streets is gonna, you have to do more count in Streets. It seems like, which is probably a good change. Right now, you just like run through the dungeon and do like one pull that's not required, and that's it. Hard light baton. Damage reduced, duration reduced. So this is the tank hitting mobs at the start of the dungeon. Should be way easier for tanks. Also, proxy strike. Cast time increase. You can actually react to it now instead of needing a cooldown tracker. And the cooldown has also been increased, so this is going to happen way less often. Should be way less punishing for certain tanks that had trouble with it, such as Prot Warrior. Nice. Hyperlight backhand. Cast time increased. This is the mobs on the right, which I basically never pulled. Frantic Rip. Debuff duration reduced to 5 seconds from 8 seconds. This is a massive nerf, actually, to the cats on the left side. I think you're always going to go left now and always play cats. They are worth extremely good count for their health. You probably play 4 cats with the Triceratops pretty much every time now. Logron Final Warning, shield reduced by 20%. This is a good change because most groups were basically just completely ignoring Final Warning. This might still happen, but basically what they were doing is Final Warning has a 15, I think, second cast time, maybe 20. And you basically just AFK'd the entire time during the cast and just like defensive to Final Warning. Now the shield is reduced by 20%, so you might be able to break it, but I have a feeling people are still just going to ignore it, especially like maybe 1 out of 2 shields in the fight will be ignored, but we'll see. Now this is the killer change. Fish stick cast time removed. So basically before, you were like pulling, anytime fish stick went off, it was just like complete destruction. The pull lived forever, and no one wanted to play the game, basically. It always goes off, so you had to do like a stun rotation. Now there's less coordination required. You just have to kill the fish stick, it seems. That's what they want you to do. Or kite, I guess. I'm not really sure. I have a feeling this dungeon is going to be like, you're just going to skip everything at the start if possible and play everything at the end. This is like probably the worst change they could have possibly done. Maybe you'll like, I think you'll maybe CC these and then like pull them later or something. That their game plan of having people just like play the scale binders and have the scale binders alive in the pack is not going to work, because the main reason is that the fish sticks count as totems, so it's like impossible to actually kill them because half your abilities don't even work. So I think the strategy is probably going to be like CC Scalebinder and then kill it alone after or something like that. Hillbrand. Titan Console's now more responsive. That's a good change. Purifying Burst. Cast time increased to 3 seconds because it's a one-shot. And it also shows who's hitting and damage reduced by 30%. That's actually insane. This boss is basically a target dummy now. You are for sure going to play 4 guards in with him and 2 Scalebinders every single time. That is crazy that they did this. I don't think they needed to reduce the damage. Loaded Accomplice, Energy Slash and Reinvigorate removed. That's the mobs at the end that hit the tank and healed themselves. So this was kind of an infinite funnel hack before. We just pull 3 of them on the boss and not kick the heal. So that's gone. These mobs are literally just target dummies that melee the tank now. So you're probably, like I said, you're almost certainly going to skip as much at the beginning as possible by not playing Scalebinders and play more of these mobs at the end. Halls of Atonement. These are some really good changes. Pulling Groundskeeper flees at 30 instead of 50. Excellent. Maybe they won't pull extra. Hopefully they slow them too, but you probably want us to take care of the slow. The Rated Claws. This is the bleed that was owning tanks. That was a cooldown of 3 seconds. We'll have to see how this actually goes. I don't know how often they auto attack, but we will be testing it in the coming week. Crystal Obliteration renamed to Mark and is now Magic Dispel. Okay, Shadow Priest is in, I guess. That's crazy. So you're gonna go into this pull. There's gonna be 2 marks out on people that they need to Magic Dispel, and also Siphon Life that also needs to be Magic Dispel. So, oh man, that is gonna be absolute destruction when we enter the halls. All right, High Adjudicator has been made significantly easier. Damage reduced by 40% from its stable animal. I think that's the new dot they have. And the vessels are out, so you won't have like a period during the middle or the end of the fight where the ad is just alive and you can't run into anything. That's good. Telekinetic toss, damage reduced. I don't know if they needed to do that. I think what they really should have done with the last boss is changed the intermission, because right now, basically, if you know how to 2-man it, then it's very easy, and if you don't know how to 2-man it, then it's fucking mission impossible. So I hope they adjust that, but This is kind of just like the wrong tooltip in my opinion. Alright, that is the dungeon changes. Gambit is going to be freaking crazy. Halls at the beginning I think is going to be absolute destruction, but we'll find that out soon. And these are pretty good changes to streets in my opinion. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out.